Hello, welcome. So I started, guess what? Streaming. I had good stream. I streamed for 2.5 hours today. I was exhausted afterward. I just did a bunch of, I'll probably clip together what I did, but I just did a bunch of, I don't know. I literally drew a bunch of lines. That was what I did. I drew a bunch of lines and then, yeah. It's 4, 5, or yeah, 5. That looks good. So today we are going to start working on bowl of ramen. So I guess that's what we're doing. Let's start with this. Let's take this. Alt Z so we can make sure we get all these edges. Yes. Gonna do this. Scale 2. Probably there. Then scale. Make it bowl. That's a pretty good looking bowl, I would say. Except we're gonna make this bottom part flatter. Bring that down. We're gonna take this face. We're gonna inset that. Then we're going to take these faces. No, that's not very nice. There's must be a quicker click. Oh, click, 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 click. There, and then we're just going to extrude that out across the z-axis, just a teeny bit. We're going to take this, we're going to take this, we're going to bevel it real nice. Then we're going to take this, we're going to inset it real small, but then we're going to drag in, inset that, then drag in a little bit for the inside curve of the bowl. Then I'm going to say, let's see. Just trying to get this about right bowl shape. I'm doing GG to slide across the edges. I think Alt. Whoops. That's pretty bowly, I'd say. Right? Looks bowl. Looks bowl. Oh, why is that like that? Uh-oh. 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 I didn't do a thing, which was do this. And then, oh, is it scale it? Minus these ones. Accidentally, yeah, there we go. I accidentally scaled something, so let's fix that. So it's just a little bit around. Or we can do this. We can go loop tools, circle, and then we can fix our bowl just to make it a little bit nicer. Then we'll add subdivide in a second, but instead, let's take this face. We're going to inset it. A tad. Here's the edge of the bowl. We could add a subdivision surface solidify modifier. But I'm not going to do that. And we're going to Alt E. We're going to extrude manifold. Let's go like this. Actually, that might be a good idea. Let's delete faces. Then add modifier, solidify. Then let's just turn. How does that look? That actually looks pretty good. Let's turn down the thickness quite a bit. Then we'll add a subdiv modifier to make it a little bit rounder. Now we're going to go ahead and adjust the bowl. Hold up, let me look. Bowl of ramen. Ooh, that's quite the bowl. Not quite the bowl I'm looking for, though. Oh, interesting. They have weird shaped bowls. I see some use. They use like this, it like this. It looks more like a pot. Like so, I guess. That's a nice bowl, wouldn't you say? Let's go. Should we go two? Let's shade smooth. Shade smooth. Even if I remove that, nope. Want to keep that? We do one, two. Looks two is too many. One looks good. Let's increase the thickness to 0.15. That looks better. Go ahead and apply that. Subdiv. Let's apply that. Here is our bowl. It's a little goofy. Now we can do some finer adjustments, I guess. No, I think that's good. I think what we do instead is we make it shorter. That looks good. Now we got a nice bowl. Now let's work on, we'll add dumplings. Let's see. So we'll take this dumpling we made. We're gonna duplicate it. We're gonna do two dumplings. Then let's do some noodles, obviously broth. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. A hard-boiled egg. Some meat strips of some kind. And then actual noodles. Actually, instead of meat strips, we'll do dumpling. We'll do a dumpling noodle soup. So I'm going to say we're going to have 4 dumplings. They will all look the same, sadly. Let's add a cube, subdivision surface that. Let's turn this into an egg. Perfect. That looks like a good egg. Now we're going to apply that. We're actually going to shade smooth. We're going to tab. We're going to go this ring and then delete edges. Delete vertices. Okay. Now we've got, well, bam, an egg half. Then we're going to go here, fill, select this, separate, selection. So now we have 2 egg halves. Let's take a good look at these. Looks eggy. Egg, egg, egg. How many? Still can't see. Now let's take this surface. And then we're going to inset. Oops, inset to that. Then we're going to go loop tools, circle. Scale that down. Going to grab across the x-axis. So it's like that. Is where the egg part is going to be. We're going to do the same thing here. Inset face, loop tool circle, scale that down. And we're going to go across the X. Now, let's see, how do we make this look nice? I think what we'll do is we'll add how do we make it look liquidy? Let's actually extrude manifold just a teeny bit. Hey, I didn't say you could extrude just a little bit. We'll do the same thing here. Extrude just a little bit. Shade smooth, make sure that's shade smooth. Then we're going to do that. Simple. Simple. Apply. Okay, and we'll do, it's not quite how we want it. I guess we can do that. Apply, what does that look like? That works. Control 3. Apply. Let's go into our sculpting. Let's find our eggs. We're going to now clay strips. Would that make a good texture? That's pretty good. Let's turn down the size. Eggs like this. Then let's do draw a little bit. Does that look eggish? That clay strips. Just adding some texture, I guess. Okay. That looks okay. Go sculpting here. Same thing. Clay strips. Then, or clay thumbs, probably a good idea. And layer. Oh! No clay. Where was it? Draw. Just a little bit of texture to the egg. So these will become our eggs. Hey, that's what those look like. We have our eggs ready. We have our dumplings ready. How much time do I have left? In minutes. 27,000 frames. What's our recording settings? Let's double check. Video. We should be 30 FPS, yes. Yes, we're 30 FPS. So we have a couple minutes left. So I don't know if we'll color them now. Let's not. So now we have our eggs. Our eggs are ready. Our dumplings are ready. We might make them a little bit different. Now all we need is our noodles and maybe some greens. So let's add this is going to be interesting. If I did, what is fur? No idea. Okay, well, let's try something. What happens if I add fur? Oh, that's not terrible, actually. Those look noodly, don't they? So let's add a... You know, let's just make chopsticks instead. I don't know what to do and I don't have a lot of time left. Chopsticks, 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 chopsticks. Chopsticks, 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 chopsticks. That. Scale, Shift Z. Make them real thin. Grab edge. Tape. Oops. Alt Z. So we can do this. Taper along the bottom. Bevel the top. Bevel the sides. Ta-da! Chopstick. Not quite, though. We need to also get this, this. Now we bevel. Now we bevel like that. Recalculate our normals. Now we have chopstick. Pair of chopsticks. Looks like our top is messed up, so we'll go ahead and fix that later. But for now, that's all I have time for. So check out my streams. I'll be streaming on Twitch. I just figured out how to stream on YouTube after I finish streaming, so you can stop by tomorrow if you would like. All right, bye. Even if you think, hey, I want the line to draw like this, your, I guess, brain doesn't know how to use your muscles to draw that line. So if I try to do this, and then I'm going to say I want to draw that again, you can see that is not pretty. That is not nice. So it's just essentially training those muscles to take what you're thinking about and drawing them.